Fuck going on? Fuck going on, everybody out there in the world, man? I'd like to be doing this shit every day. Like, in my mind, I want to be more consistent. Just on that tip, like, I really would have like a better schedule. Like in my mind, like I know I could do a better, have a schedule, an actual time. People know, like, okay, he goes live every day, or it's kind of hard to do that when you out here in the elements. You know what I'm saying? Out here in heaven. Look, I'm in heaven right now. You wouldn't even know. We got coffee and shit. Yeah, you wouldn't even know I was in heaven. You wouldn't even know it. If that wasn't there, you would have been like, this dude in heaven. But yeah, I'm finna go in on some real shit. So I've been in Arizona and shit since. I don't really need to be like explaining myself. I've been like everywhere, really like all over the air, like international and stuff. You know, you gotta be native. You gotta be like in the end to really like. You gotta know like, or a free man or something. You gotta like be in on, to like know where I'm coming from. But yeah. You know, the mental health pretty much. Alright, my bad, y'all. I don't know, bro. It's not like I got like a major audience or nothing. Shit, fuck it. Yeah, I'm outside and shit. Still alive. They trying to keep them motherfucker in survival mode because they ain't trying to let the native get any type of like nothing, no momentum, no support. You know, I might get a little support here and there from people in the hood and shit like that, but I ain't getting no major support. So I don't really go out my way to try to like even go get like a label deal or a contract with anybody or any shit. I just be doing regular shit like everybody else, as far as little work jobs and shit. But in my mind, I don't really believe in none of this shit, so it'll be hard for me to stay at any place long enough to really get some serious traction going. So that's where I'm coming from. Like, ain't about no like. I'm not using nothing as an excuse. It's me who I am individually, with no baggage attached, nothing attached. I'm just like lousy and don't know how to keep a job. You know what I'm saying? Long enough, because I got a lot of energy, or maybe I'm attractive, and other people start feel like they want to like put their hands on me, or interrupt me, or like be me or something. You know, always some weird shit where somebody probably want to be me and they secretly hate. You know what I mean? So I always gotta deal with some shit, and then I just be like, man, get the fuck up out of here, man. My energy's getting drained and shit. That's besides the point. But yeah, the energy out here. Arizona's a numerology. If you add all the letters and the corresponding numbers to each letter, you get 3. So that's why I'm realizing this. And a lot of that has to go with the name, Arizona. You know, and the 3 being the surroundings. If you went to astrology and shit, you kind of know where or just life, or the seasons, you kind of know where I'm coming from. Like the 3 just be the surrounding, the 3D, the shit, the body, the mind, the mental. So like that's why it's like the plains. And then shout out to the Great Plains and shit. Shout out everybody in Arizona. A lot of the spirits out here are still native spirits that are still indigenous to the land. And as long as you know what I'm saying, the atmosphere and the environment, Father Madam, as above, so below, you know, as within, so without type shit. Like, all this is inside of you, but like what I'm saying is, you ain't never gonna change the energy of these lands, of these plains. It's the plains of existence, not some piece of metal these niggas made. Motherfuckers wasn't talking about that, but But that'd be the energy though, like a lot of 3 energy, communication, relating, anything air related, the body itself, taking care of your body. Really, it'd be the mind, right? So I'm gonna go into that because these people know, like, you know what I mean? If they somewhere plagiarizing and copying off the natives and using certain practices, and they know what they're doing, or they really don't know what they're doing, because a lot of them is just trying to make some money and shit. But in that context, like for the government, people or the corporations or whoever that's just trying to make a buck, and you're using some symbolism and shit, and you know the numerology, you know the ENERGz and shit, and you know who was out here, you know what occurred. First of all, it was like bands of tribes that was out here. It was bands of tribes out here about 200-300 years ago. You know what I'm saying? There was actually a water, you know, river flowing through the water. You know, there used to be water flowing through the river. I know I said that backwards. Used to be water actually flowing through the river that they reclaimed, like they reclaimed the water. But it's like, what do you mean reclaimed water? So I'm gonna get into that, right? 3, because it's like the sex is the joint of like 2 energies or multiple energies. So like 3 out here. So like I just said, Father Madam type shit. So Father Madam created 3, had a baby, a child. You know what I'm saying? So out here, children in Arizona, children are probably a big priority. You know, education, the kids. Anything being related and exchanged as far as like information, you know, anything air related, like can't repeat that. Shout out to the air. It's windy right now. Peace pipes. Yeah, good peace pipe game. Creativity. I ain't gonna go into the whole spiel, but 3, yeah, depth. Just from what I noticed being in Tucson long enough, they make a lot of money off of death. You know what I mean? The hospital, the medical industry and shit. They don't even want, a lot of these motherfuckers, they ain't even gonna want me talking like this, but fuck it. I don't care. I'm not up under somebody else's God indoctrination. I'm not gonna, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna get in trouble by life for pointing things out that niggas are doing as like manipulation and like low-key corrupt. Shit like that. Low-key retarded. You know what I mean? But yeah, the medical industry out here, hospitals, probably a lot of old people that be dying and shit. Like they make money off of that. They don't want people to be healthy and shit. Your body, your mind. So like a lot of it starts with mental health, mental well-being. How your mind is being cultivated, or like what kind of mind you got, what kind of awareness you got. A lot of people out here are inspired. Anything 3 related, like 3, you know, birth, life, death. 1, 2, 3. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole state itself. Like Arizona as a whole, as a state. But yeah, Tucson be making mad money off of goddamn. Cause it's like, I'm always hearing ambulances and shit. So it's like, you know, they probably, you know, there's a lot of caregiving out here. And then people that are a lot of hands-on, you know, 3, that's like also 3 related. The hands, the lungs, speech, massage, you know what I mean? Like anything like with the hands, like construction, that's a big one. You know what I mean? Because we talk about the surrounding, right? That's the body and shit. So like construction niggas, that's what they do. They build. They be hands-on, building bodies and shit. How, you know, buildings, right? Structures. So that's kind of like the idea. Like spiritually, we supposed to be building this mind that, you know what I'm saying, this more godly type of mind, this more like God type of awareness, but it's more God body, a lighter body and stuff. But it's like we can't do that. Everybody don't know that that's what we doing, and people are like only just working for some money and shit, which with all the energy gets siphoned and goes right back to who being the surrounding. Like why everybody go outside each day for what, money and stuff? That is so like this money thing is like what, a circulation, a currency. So that's kind of like also involved in that 3 energy, because you go do what you do. You go to work. You got a place for you to apply whatever ability you got. You trying to make some money off of your ability, so they give you like, here, we got a position for you that you could fulfill, where you could use that whatever you got, and we'll give you some bruh, and we'll give you some pieces of paper or some credits in exchange. You know what I'm saying? So you could like go get the things that we've taken over and monopolized, like food and like water and like natural resources and stuff, and like, you know, shelter and stuff, you know, safety, security, and shelter and shit. So like, this shit is deep, man. Breathing out here, you know, the breath, the air is really the most important. Communication, relating, like knowing how to relate. A lot of people don't know how to relate, so they might be in whatever situations not knowing how to relate to themselves, and then they think they being relatable to others, but whole time everybody just be like, it'd be a whole bunch of self-reflecting going on in ways where everybody kind of like casting stones at each other without really knowing it, or they some people do be knowing it, like y'all females know what I'm talking about, but it'd be like secret shade or like secret people trying to like switch roles with you some weird kind of way, where like if you agree to certain shit in a conversation, it's almost like people are dumping shit on you, or like some people just come to you, they just want to talk to you and dump on you, and that's it. They just wanted your attention, and they just wanted to like give some of they air, stanky ass stale air. I don't know, somebody just want to put some shit on your shoulders. I'm trying to think what else is 3 related, but yeah, that's pretty much on that. You know, on that tip. This was native land. At some point, I went back in the 1600s or some shit. You could Google it, but you know, it should be misleading. But at some point, this I want to say, just off the logic, because the story that they told is not entirely true. It's very misleading and very a lot of lies and manipulations going on. Those natives here, motherfuckers had to be foreign, and whenever they came, it's almost like initial settlers came here like kind of like scouts. They was cool, like maybe initial people were like, they knew like, damn, if any other of my people came, it would be a problem. So shit was cool for some time, you know, however long. They had trades and deals going on and shit. I'm not gonna go into that, but it wasn't just like straight a problem, you know what I'm saying, until maybe like later on. So then you got like more foreigners coming, like, all right, so the East Coast, you had probably like French man, Canada land and shit, Briticana man, East Coast, you know, European man, like them, you know what I'm saying? White boy and shit over there. And then you got like Spaniard man hit like South America. Like these, I'm looking at like, this is what they agreed upon. Like this is how they was gonna colonize and piece out everything. So I'm looking at it like, because they was working together and shit. When you look back at everything, like even if that's not what necessarily they was trying to do, that's kind of like what happened in a sense. Or a misunderstanding, some misunderstanding. They probably, oh, it's just a misunderstanding. It's a pity what happened to those damn natives. Somebody back, that's what somebody back said somewhere, like, damn, what a shame. What a sob story. What, you want a pity party? You know, somebody thinking, I know some sarcastic motherfucker watching right now, like, okay, and What do you want me to do about it, dude? What do you want me to do? You want to bring back the dead? Yeah, like, yeah, some assholes just somewhere, like, just being an asshole, but yeah, fucking Spaniard man hit like South America and shit and Central America and came up right there on like the West Coast. You know, and probably with Asian man, you know what I'm saying? Whatever China man or Asian man that wasn't like freed man enough, they was hitting the West Coast also with you know what I'm saying? On some China man shit. I don't know what that might have been maybe later on, but it was a lot of Spaniard man. And to me, Spaniard man, like Portugal man, those are the same. To me, Spaniard man kind of like just another, like a different phenotype variation of white boy dude, and is like similar to like French man. So to me, a Spaniard man ain't no too different than French man as far as the tongue and the dialect. And the linguistics, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the mind, how the mind bended in to become the body and your organs and shit, for you to your larynx to be a certain way, and like for you to be in a certain region where y'all breathing the air, you know what I'm saying? This is real shit. I'm not retarded. For you, for anybody to sound who they are, like you was born in a certain mental place first, like you was there first mentally, then your body bended in on itself as such to become like a reflection or the condensed version of that state of being. You know what I mean? So like, you know, I'm like I'm like a beach, or like I got like a. That's how a lot of people call me, a bitch or a beach. But no, I'm just born in the summertime. Like I'm a beach. You know, sometimes I'm warm. Sometimes it's like inviting. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the waves are cracks. It might crash up. You know what I'm saying? Crash the rock. It might be stormy one day. You know what I'm saying? That's what a beach do. Beach ain't just, it's not just a sunny ass beach every day. So, you know what I mean? Life's a beach. You know what I mean? But I be like at the beach. I don't be like the beach itself, but I be more like creating the environment that makes, you know what I'm saying? Like that becomes the beach. So like that's really all you own, is like you're on a big old landmass surrounded by water. So it's like you always at the beach, wherever you at. You know, it just depending on where you at, there's gonna be more fluids there or not. You know what I mean? More, you know, percentage level of whatever the alchemy is. It might be more fire, air, like that. This is kind of more like fire, air at this point. Maybe at one point it could have been more earth and water out here in Arizona and shit. But a lot of the logic that was brought from, you know what I'm saying, from the eastern lands, the people from the east, like Washihu and them, you know what I'm saying, they probably brought a lot of too much deserted type of qualities here, and it dried up, you know what I mean, whatever was here, you know what I'm saying. This is some real shit, bro. We talk about like Spaniard man was doing their thing. Spaniard man went just as hard, like just as hard as British man. Maybe not as hard, because British man is British man, but like Spaniard man was doing some shit over here. Cortez, and you know what I'm saying? Cortez's shoes, you know, Cortez shoes, sneakers and stuff. You know what I mean? What else you got? El Pollo Loco. What else you got? What else you got? Like, you know what I'm saying? Just a lot of the Mexican colonized concept. So I'm looking at the whole Mexican thing too. Like Mexicans are natives, but like on percentage levels of like white man, Spaniard man, whatever native tribe, maybe even the Inca or the Aztec, even in South America or Central, like, you know, those were natives and shit. So like there was a lot of natives on just this western side of the hemisphere of the world, as far as Canada, North America, and then going all the way down to South America, Argentina, and all that. Are you serious? And it being a well-oiled machine, and everybody had a function, like motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was doing their part. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't just like chaos and savagery. Like they'd be trying to, you know, how they be trying to like paint a narrative about, like it was just people here wearing just, you know what I mean, like furs and just sleeping in teepees, and like, oh nigga, that was after the fact, after like lands was already getting taken and motherfuckers had to get moved around, and lands was getting set on fire and shit, and homelands was destroyed, and like all your valuable possessions, like your whole god might have got destroyed. So of course your ass had to get moved to like Mississippi or something with a whole bunch of other bands and tribes. Y'all ain't really supposed to be mixed like that. But all y'all some like early type reservation concept, you know what I'm saying? That y'all agreed to, and you didn't even know that's what really was motherfucking being agreed to, and then everybody end up on a reservation, and then fucking white man talk about, yeah, you know what I'm saying, you gotta stay here type shit. That's like the early stages of jail and shit, like everybody being in a cot, or you know, having their own little teepee hut, you know, a little Pizza Hut, you know, your little Pizza Hut. It's all sarcasm, dude. Like the Red Baron shit. Y'all need to change, get rid of the Red Baron pizzas and shit. Like y'all ain't finna keep cosplaying dead natives and shit, and calling on native spirits, especially over some box of pizza. You know what I mean? Like stop playing, dude. Trying to like white man trying to play like they the native and stuff. I'm seeing it right now, dude. I'm seeing it right now. Some foreigners and shit. They just trying to replace the actual Indian or any freedman or anybody had a mixed percentage level of native Indian nativism in their blood or in their, you know what I'm saying? So back to the Arizona part though. So that goes with a lot of the three and shit, a lot of the information that was like not talked about or probably taught about here, and a lot of it has to do with the religion type of shit. You know what I mean? Them converting natives and trying to get rid of natives and whitewash the natives, which a lot of had to do with like Catholicism and Jesuits being involved. Especially when we start talking about the schools and shit, like that's really all a school is was like a early boarding school where they was like rounding up natives and little kids and shit after they already killed like a lot of the men, the fathers and the warrior spirits. And then, you know what I mean, a lot of females got raped, you know what I mean, or they just like gave in because, you know what I mean, like the fuck you gonna do when all your warriors and chiefs just got killed in the, you know what I'm saying? It's like fuck. So a lot of females just kind of gave in at some point, like whoever survived and shit, you know, didn't get raped or killed, like to death type shit. You know what I mean? Some people just like, all right, fuck it. Same thing with the children. Like, they didn't know no better. They just gonna do whatever motherfuckers is telling them and shit. Cause a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? There was still some rebellious, there's still some like motherfuckers fighting back type shit, but a lot of the culture got just like severely damaged. So if we talk about mentally, it was supposed to be like the idea was like the foreigner was invited in and welcome, and we was gonna help them out, raise them up and shit, put them on game shit, and it was supposed to be a collaboration because they probably had some abilities we don't, just by default. You know what I mean? Niggas ain't dumb and shit. Like we knew there was something, they got some type of like logic ability with the machines and shit. Like we was gonna need that for certain upgrades and shit. You know what I'm saying? Natives was not dumb, bruh. They already knew this shit. You know, that's why motherfuckers came over here, bro. And whoever stayed over there, and they still over there. You know what I mean? That's why we got America today. We got some like extended Europe, but it's like a new version of Europe where they could play God at. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like but then it's like a lot of it is like all the native shit that they cosplaying and like plagiarizing. So like it's like New Worldia. Shout out to Dolo. So it's like it's still the native land, still native, the nation. You know what I'm saying? Still native nations and shit. But we all just kind of like scattered now and shit. Try to figure out like what percentage level of what am I? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of this shit got to do with the culture being goddamn replaced and shit. Like motherfuckers trying to play God and they ain't. So it's like it's like too. It's clear. It's like it's. See, that's where like the mysteriousness be at, because people be like, well, people just like believe what they see today only, but it's like you have to really be a percentage. You have to really like this shit got to be in you. Like I must have been here before, because otherwise I wouldn't be into this shit. That's how I look at it. Cause I ain't no like just some actual cosplayer like a Dakota Fanning or some bitch, like some white bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like a group of like, you know, I always thought I was like a whole band's collections of native spirits that just came together and like now I'm one body, but I'm somebody. I'm like millions and billions of spirits, like cells, spirit, like, you know what I'm saying? I got millions of spirits and cells and shit, you bitch. What the fuck you talking about? You better respect what the fuck going on. I ain't just pop out of a vagina for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't just like pick that name for no reason. Maybe other people might have. Not me. So that's where I'm at. There's a check somewhere for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm like caught in like some weird scatteredness.
Are you okay right here? You okay? Okay, we can't hang around right here. Are you okay right here? You okay? Okay, we can't hang around right here, okay? You can go anywhere else, like under those trees, but on McDonald's property, you can't.
Oh, I was just like, I'm on YouTube. So I was just like, letting YouTube know, like, you said I can't hang here. I get it. You just doing your job. You're doing your policy and stuff.
I'll explain to you. You look like a really honest guy.
No, yeah, I ain't got no problem with you. I know you're just doing your job stuff.
A great man.
Native.
We're just making sure that.
No, hold on. What I got to say? I get you doing your job, and I'm trying to be rude, but this is native land first.
That's great.
Before anybody was speaking any.
We treat everybody equally. And
before there was ever a McDonald's here.
Unfortunately,
honestly,
drug use going on in our neighborhood.
All right, well, I don't do drugs.
I believe you. And unfortunately, we just gotta keep it.
And guess who's making the drugs? The people that work with McDonald's.
You know me?
The people that work with McDonald's make drugs. You know that. You know this whole place sells drugs, right?
Look like a smart man.
You want to know? You know you help people sell like chemicals and soda and shit, right? You know you help people sell Coca-Cola, right? I'm just letting you know you help people that sell Coca-Cola. You don't help people sell Coca-Cola? Nigga, that's drugs to me, dude. That's a chemical made liquid soda syrup. That is not natural, bro. That kills people and creates diabetes, dude. I know, bro. I'm just standing here talking, minding my business, bro. So where y'all want niggas to go then? Where you want niggas to go then, bro? Nigga, you destroy my. If you destroy somebody's home, then you gotta make sure like you put them back in a home or something, or some like situation where they cool. Like that's war code. That's just like spiritual war ethics. Really, that's just like life ethics in general. Like if you did something wrong, you're supposed to like. You would think you'd want to like correct and try to like equalize your wrongdoings, so that you don't die with that on your subconscious. You don't want that. You don't want that on your heart. But it's too late. A lot of these motherfuckers, they already made the bed they made. Doing this shit for hundreds of years. Y'all know y'all responsible for like millions and billions of people dying. Like however, I don't even got the number. But however many lives that died all the way from the natives getting slaughtered and any freedmen, because a lot of freedmen were out here trying to help too and fight with the natives, keep the land secure. So any freedman and shit, white man, African man, whoever, bro, African man, Spaniard, whoever, Frenchman. There was a lot of mixtures of mixing going on. So here we are today, a bunch of mixies. I look at myself as like a Mexican, you know? So you need to give me a check for me being a Mexican and knowing that I'm a Mexican. And you ain't finna just like leave me out here. It's like just floating. You're not just gonna leave me floating, or floating in the sphere. You're not just gonna like leave me just floating out here like free falling. Yeah, like no, dude. Because if I go somewhere, I don't need nobody showing up talking about, oh, you can't be here and stuff. Bruh, how long was I just there prior to that nigga showing up? About 20 minutes. Quote, quote, you know, hanging out. Yeah, I was there about 20 minutes. Don't get no ideas now, McDonald's and you corporations and shit. That don't mean like y'all like need better security. No, that's not what this live stream is about. It's about me being free and nobody really, people shouldn't mind their business. And last time I checked, that motherfucker don't own McDonald's. So I don't know why he's so invested into somebody else's business when he probably don't, and he don't make no check. He ain't cutting no bread like that. Nigga, he didn't pave the tar in the parking lot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why y'all, and then again, and I had to tell him like, well, all this happened like on top of y'all had to like slaughter a bunch of Indians and natives and shit. So you wouldn't even have a McDonald's to be like, you wouldn't even have a policy to tell me about if somebody did come over here and like start like taking advantage of somebody's kindness. How you gonna take advantage of my kindness and then now I'm back and you still trying to practice the same shit just in a lighter form? It's like, how dare you? Did you not learn any better? Did you not learn anything while I was gone? Did you not learn anything from like, did y'all not learn anything? That has everything to do with this live about the number 3 in Arizona. Nigga, did you not learn anything? Did you not like keep game? Mentally, did you not like use your mind to like maybe think about your actions? Yeah, I gotta talk to y'all like kids, dude, because like that's what apparently y'all need. Y'all needed a father and stuff. You know what I mean? Because y'all, it's not like y'all had a homeland, father, mother idea to like take care of. Y'all just deserted that and destroyed that. So it's like apparently they need somebody else's goddamn motherly, fatherly qualities and shit. Since all they know how to do is be a baby and tape and shit in their pants somewhere, and come up with laws. So you gotta watch me to even say anything. If I wasn't standing there, you wouldn't have no policy to enforce. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go back and forth with you over rhetoric at some point. And over some point, I'm like, man, like, y'all hear this song? Y'all need to hear this song. Tear my heart out, so myself shine. I care too much. Past is real. Just you feel. Tried to help you once. You never realized. Drowning in the water. I offer you the hand. This is my nature, yeah. Niggas don't even know because y'all ain't like in real life. And this shit's synthetic. So you don't even like got a mind that ever even like must have traveled and like did nothing real for real. You always been like some shortcut mentality where you was just short and always trying to like skip skip the line so you could like go splash around in the water fountain and play around and shit and not even drink the water, be all gay and stuff with your friends and shit like that. Little just like butt buddy, weird pervert shit, and then like real man show up like, hey, are you guys done? You guys finished? I actually like need something to drink, and y'all are like wasting the water. So good thing I know how to make water now. I just know how to do it, like, which is another thing. Why the fuck we paying for water when your body is 75-80% water? So it's like, motherfucker, mentally, spirit, like also, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm not the mind, but spiritually, mentally, and then physically, condensed mind, I make water, bitch. Otherwise, there wouldn't be blood flowing through my body, and I wouldn't be taking a piss every day, every other day. Every day, pretty much. I gotta take a piss. You know what I'm saying? So what are you talking about? That means that there's fluids inside of me. Whatever I drink, my body retains that, absorbs, you know what I'm saying? Receives it. My body takes what it requires. Maybe certain fluids that I'm not making or that aren't so natural or you know what I'm saying, indigenous to my own body. So there might be some, I don't want to say foreign things, but well, let me rephrase that. There's certain things I know I'm making internally, and then it play out externally. You get what I'm saying? So it's like I gotta go get that external thing sometimes. A certain drink, like coffee or something, for example. Like I'll go get some coffee, and then that's, you know what I'm saying, a certain part of me that I already like was doing mentally to even like desire that to begin with. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I go too much into that internal nature, internally, that's where externally, like you might play out as like you're overdoing it. You know what I'm saying? You're maybe drinking too much coffee. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Might be too much mud involved, too much water, earth. You know what I mean? It gets deep. You know, it gets deep, but like, y'all niggas don't know, man. Y'all niggas don't. Y'all just be like selling, just trying to sell shit and like push an advertisement and push some guys some fucking commercial and apparently be in the chat all weird and shit wherever y'all be at with cameras and shit watching people. So yeah, a lot of this has to goes back to the natives and shit. The Spaniard man was going crazy out here. Jesuits and shit, Catholicism, that's big out here. People are big on the God and Jesus shit out here. And a lot of people are like kind of slow out here. Energy's kind of slow, but it's fast. Like it's fast, but then there's like areas where it's slow at. So there's a lot of areas where it's fast, real quick moving out here and shit. But then it could be like slow. You know what I'm saying? Because maybe not everybody is so well-rounded to match that threeness. So if you're more of a well-rounded type of being and shit, you know how to like relate, and you done traveled enough internally, externally, you know, and been around, you know what I'm saying? Been around type shit. It's RP Tupac. You know, he was a goddamn puppet, but yeah, it's like, damn, bro. But I even mapped it too, though, location-wise, like coordinates-wise. This is like the Gemini area of, quote-unquote, what they call in America or the United States. So like this Arizona kind of area, as far as like just probably the wind current. You know what I'm saying? Because they go off of the currents and shit with the sea current and the wind current and shit like that. And the way like the wave. Yeah, I peep game. I'm not retarded. There's a science to this that went like y'all been doing this for hundreds of years. So like y'all niggas know what the fuck going on. YouTube and you know whoever else be watching this shit. I'm shadow banned, so like it could be 100 niggas watching me right now. I wouldn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Unless they like unless they brought that to my awareness or some shit. Probably more. You know what I'm saying? Like, probably more than 100 for sure. Like we talk about global company at this point, international company. Like, hey, y'all niggas go. You know what I'm saying? Spaniard man came out here, mixed in with a, so like, yeah, the Mexican is like, like a lot of percentage level of Spaniard and like native and white man, which is Spaniard, like Spaniard white man, but like, it could have been another white man too though. Like, the Mexican thing is deep because it's like, there's different type of Mexicans. Like, you got like white looking Mexicans that might be probably more like Irish or even, you know, like whatever, Briticana man or like Portugal or some, whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like your, you got your pit bulls, you know what I'm saying? Pit bull, he's a foreigner. You know what I mean? Like Daddy Yankee, like them, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, like, shout out to my Puerto Ricans. I ain't trying to confuse people because I know the Puerto Ricans are going through it right now, but like, if you, there's just everybody on a percentage level, like each person is different. You can't say like this group of motherfuckers is all like Mexican, but then you look at the group, you got maybe somebody that might look kind of like me, that might be more mixed, you know what I'm saying, with Negroid or like, you know what I'm saying, native and white man or something, some other kind of mixture or islander kind of mixture, and then you got niggas that like look straight like Enrique Iglesias or like, you know, like Ricky Martin and shit. You got them type of Mexicans that are like white boy dude. Okay, that's like a white boy like Mexican. You get with the hair and shit like grease, like greasing. You know what I'm saying? Like, or what was that movie? You know, one of the movies and shit. You know what I'm saying? Not grease lighting. I know that was like a bunch of white dudes, but like those are like Italian niggas. You got those Mexicans that are like probably part like, you know what I'm saying, kind of Italian percentage level. It's deep, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like Spaniard, Italian. I look at Spaniards and Italians like those, them niggas are close. But like I said, like Spain and France are like right next to each other. So like whatever, like these niggas, like you gotta like understand, whoever was over there in the East, they had to be dark at first. I kid you not. Because if you go closer to the sun, like if you literally go back that way towards the east, it's gonna be like a big old storm. Am I correct? If you go out to the ocean, like Japan out there and shit, Korea and shit, and then you would go like somewhere in between there and like the West Coast or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm not playing, bro. The way, it's just the way this atmosphere and this environment is kind of like, you know, people get psyched out by shit, and it's really not that serious. But if you know what you're looking at, like earlier, I seen like the both reflections, the sun, like the sun, what they call them, the sun and the moon, are literally, it's literally the same thing. You're just seeing like parts of the atmosphere lit up, like, you know, at a certain angle. So you're seeing the reflection of like what we're on, this water cycle interacting with outside of this bubble, kind of like current walker, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they're trying to track as far as like the different sun transitions of like planets and shit like that. But that's not what this is about. But it's related though. This is planes related. Only the natives understood astronomy and shit. What they got a space museum in Texas and shit. I mean, yes, they got shit out here. Like they got certain shit out here too. I know they got some statues of some white man on horses and shit with cowboy hats. So like the cowboy, the UFO bucket hat came through here and like did a number on the territory. I already know, bro. It's all on the art and shit. It's like a story, bro. And I go outside, I'm like looking at a story that occurred. Yeah, I mean, it's not even like a good one. It wouldn't even, it's not really a story like a good, yeah, so that's his story. Like, really, I'm getting the real shit though. Like, cause you let him tell it. His story is gonna be filled with all kind of lies and shit and all kind of shit he left out. So I ain't like just listening to his story. I got my own story, and then there's people like that were here that had their own story and their own stores and shit, and their own stove. Yeah, so it's like Arizona, man. That's AZ. We're going in on Tucson. Tucson is number 2. Yeah, it's known for it being like out here though. The energy is like real cool and stuff. It's real light, you know. That's like air too. It's like it's light. People aren't like real heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like they can be. Too much light leads to heaviness. You know what I mean? If it's not separated and balanced correctly and shit, you can have too much light in whatever areas, and then that becomes like all the awareness like there. You know what I mean? Like a little black, like a dark pocket. You know what I'm saying? So first, a lot of people be in their own death and they don't even know it. Like here, like everybody be expired like already, don't even know. It's like weird. The government, all right, that's what I wanted to go in. Like, why is the government and the scientists and the college universities, because this shit goes back to the natives and shit, whatever was going on then and ever since then, right? As far as like these experimentations and shit deep. Out here in Tucson though, this is weird, like, cause I'm smart, like, not smart, but like I know how to pay attention. Like, so you got this fentanyl crisis or whatever, and then they gonna try to pin that on Mexico and shit. Man, all these cats are in on it, dude. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at all this like it's all a scam. This is all native land, so they just trying to create jobs, which are just distractions to keep the migrants that they bringing over here, the immigrants and foreigners and shit, people that might have been here but their parents aren't from here, or actual people that are coming over here like today on a plane from like other lands and shit that are like maybe not doing so well. And people think like, hey, let me go to America. Like the government there might be, you know what I'm saying? The government might be telling other people like, hey, come to America. Because this is what happened to me during the summer last year. My some people that I was, you know, around and shit, like family members type shit that ain't really so family, but they were like, they kind of put me onto the idea of, so like places like Italy and shit, these other like, well, even here in America, like, but like certain areas like states and countries will they have certain like little programs and shit. If you want to move there, they might like pay for you to go to Italy if you could prove that you got like residency tied back to somebody Italian, or like, or other states, you know what I mean? Like might have certain like qualifications. Like you get a job here, you know what I'm saying? You get a you live here for X amount of time. We'll give you like, you know, they might give you a certain kind of check for moving there to encourage people to move in there to boost the economy and shit. So a lot of the shit just be a narrative as far as them just like what I'm seeing, how they just be moving people around and shit and just trying to keep people in a state of like the cipher kind of concept from Matrix, just distracted in that four energy. Or you get that, you know what I'm saying? It's like you get the desire and then you think you're cool because it's like your mind is being satisfied in a certain way because you're getting that desirement, but it's like your mind gets trapped. And then if you'll, you know what I'm saying, you can start thinking you that object is like a part of you, and then your spirit can get confused between the body, the flesh, and your mind. So it's some deep shit because your mind is like the lightest version of your body, and that layer really ain't got like a whole bunch of cloth or clothing like that. So it's like a lot of spirits be scared to be naked for real because it's like it's almost like a feeling of death. Not even almost. It is. It's like you have to die inside. That's the real death. Like people be scared of dying and shit, but you do it every second. You do it every day. Look at that. See, look at it. Look at how they got the store. Look how they got this fucking fraud. Look how they got the store built. Look how they got, dude. Why would they put the building right there, dude? Like with the top, the building, like copying the culture of the natives and shit. All pyramid looking, like niggas, the triangle type of. Bro, that's some shit, dude. Look at that, dude. Bro, niggas know the natives was building mounds and shit. Like, that's native shit, dude. You get it? Like, y'all wouldn't have shit without the natives, dude. Stop trying to kick me out of places. That whole trespassing shit, that's tied in with the 3 energy, bro, because it has to deal with the surroundings, bro. Nigga, you're not gonna like make me, bro. I'm not a foreigner, dude. I'm not a traveler. Okay. I'm pretty. I'm not an Indian. I'm not East Indian. I got like more of a boxy, like, you know what I'm saying? I got more of like a boxy type of. I'm playing with y'all. I'm just kind of maybe like, you know, like one of the tribes I got defeated and shit. So I'm like mixed and watered down and shit. But like, nigga, I'm still a fight. You know what I mean? Even if I was like one of the white boys and free men, probably like, I'm one of the, like, bro, even if I had a percentage level of the Pilgrim man back in the day, I'm one of them family dudes or something. A nigga that was at least putting in some work, dude. Mentally, bro. Like, I'll defeat you with a matter of like, bruh. All y'all could do is melt a gun and throw a punch. And then we was really throwing hands at that time. It was a whole gang of us. Not a gang of, yeah, a whole band, like bands and shit, tribes, bro. Like, music, that's a big 3 component. You know what I'm saying? Music and shit. I'd be out here cooking, dude. Food, cooking, anything 3 related. The surroundings, the circumference, the circle. There's a lot of people that grew up out here and get high and shit. Honestly, like, that's what goes on and shit. Going back to that, like, why you got the government and shit, and these college motherfuckers, and these are like, who else got who else is like got chemistry labs and shit, dude? Bro, who else got chemistry labs and shit, dude? Ain't no cartel making no goddamn, like, now maybe, but like initially, you go back in the day, bro, even still to this day, like, government, bro, they got CVS's on every corner, bro. You're not gonna tell me that y'all don't sell pills and shit, bro. Make pills and drugs, bro. Like soda and shit. But that's what I was saying to that dude. Like, everything on the ingredient list is a man-made chemical. And it's most likely be with something in nature at one point that is now probably like GMO or something. But the idea is like they took something probably from nature and made some synthetic shit, like a preservative. So you got, like, should be a bunch of preservatives and shit and artificial. So like a lot of this shit be artificial. It's not even real food. It's like fucking drugs. You know what I'm saying? So that's what's keeping people going each day, like drugs and shit. Mainly sugar and salt. Sugar, salt, and then all these like synthetic like preservatives and certain chemicals and like additives and shit, and like certain sweeteners and certain seasonings, like whatever the fuck. And then there's shit going in the food, like say you go to the deli, you buy some chicken. You don't know where like if you go to the chicken factory, the people in the factory that are processing and packaging the chicken, they don't even, there's stages they don't even know that they are, like, you know what I mean? There's stages they wasn't even involved in. So you got to go all the way to the root. Like, all right, I can imagine maybe somewhere they got a whole farm where all the chickens are at. Bro, I watched the documentary in high school, bro, the Food Inc. I seen what the fuck y'all niggas do, bro.